All right, good evening, everybody. My name is Alexandra Altman, and I'm so excited that you are able to join us tonight for the virtual college exploration for all Illinois students. It's being sponsored by the Illinois Association for College Admission Counseling and StriveScan. I'm really excited that you are going to be able to hear from the representatives at Eastern Michigan University tonight. I'm from the Detroit area, so I'm excited to hear what's going on in my home state. But first, I have a few housekeeping announcements before we get started. As you can see on the screen here, you can type your questions into the Q&A function on your screen at any time throughout the presentation. And I encourage you to use that so that they can get your questions answered. Your camera and microphone will be off the whole time in this format, so the panelists cannot see or hear you. So that's the best way to reach them, is by typing your question in. This is just one of many different sessions happening, so be sure to check out the full schedule at iacac.org. And this presentation is being recorded and will be available on that same website within about a week. So without further ado, I will turn it over to Tracy and Jaden.
Good evening. My name's Tracy. I'm Senior Admissions Advisor for Eastern Michigan University. And I have with me tonight one of our student workers for our office and admissions. His name's Jaden. He's going to go ahead and introduce himself a little bit later. But I would like to get started with a quick video here. So let's see. We're going to go ahead and show you a little bit of campus. So enjoy. Okay, so kind of a quick little campus highlight video. You can see everything on and around our campus, obviously in all 4 seasons, which you all are used to in Illinois yourselves. So I know we're gearing up for some of that cold weather, and I don't know about you, but I'm not ready for it. I'm going to introduce myself a little bit so that you know that you can reach out to me if you have questions, if there's anything that you might need. We want to be readily available. Again, my name's Tracy. I'm Senior Admissions Advisor here at Eastern. Although I'm not an Eastern alumni, I did go to school with my background primarily being in education, and now working in higher education, trying to recruit and work with younger students to prepare them for their college journey. I love being outside. I love traveling. I'm really bummed that I can't be, at the conference, at the convention this year. I am also a retired college athlete, so if you're interested in athletics at the college level, feel free to reach out. My contact information is in the bottom right-hand corner of the screen. You are welcome to take a picture of it, screenshot it, in case you need to reach out to me via email or phone or text. I do like to reiterate to students that the text feature there is a direct line to us. It's not an automated response, so there's not a robot behind there. We actually are going to type back to you and give you genuine answers. So if you're feeling like you have some questions, especially after this, if something comes to you tomorrow, you're welcome to text in to us with those questions. Next slide here, we're going to talk about Eastern Michigan University, right? We are located in Ypsilanti, Michigan, which is just about 4 hours directly east of the greater Chicago area. We are about 10 minutes from Ann Arbor and about 45 minutes from Detroit. So we are really in the heart of Southeast Michigan. We are situated on 800 acres of campus, which is surrounded by the city in itself, which is kind of nice because you don't have to drive to class. You don't have to take a bus to class. You can literally walk from one corner to the other in about 15 minutes. We have about 17,000 total students on campus. That includes all of our undergraduate students, as well as our master's program students and our doctoral program students. We are considered a mid-major university, Division I institution. With that number being that large, we do have about a 17-to-1 student to faculty ratio. So 88% of our classes are actually capped at 30 or less students. We really want to enhance the student experience academically by making sure that we offer small class sizes so that students feel comfortable in their environment, knowing their professors, knowing their classmates, they're comfortable to ask questions. So that's something that we really take a lot of pride in, being able to let you know that you will have a voice in your class. We are a super diverse campus. We have all 50 states represented on campus, as well as 83 countries. So we are super diverse geographically, racially, ethnically. About 42% of our incoming, actually 48% of our incoming class this last year identified as students of color. So when you head out on campus, you will see people from all different backgrounds. We have roughly 200 majors available for students to study, which we'll get into shortly. So there's lots of options for you. There's options if you change your mind once, twice, 3 times, you're going to be able to find something that is a good fit for you. We have over 220 clubs and organizations, which Jaden will talk about in a little bit, and how to get involved in those. And then the big statistic on this page that I want to really point out is that 89% of our recent grads are employed within 6 months of graduation. So you can feel confident in knowing that there will be a job opportunity for you. We will help you obtain a career within your field, within, the hope is within 6 months of you being graduated, which is really awesome to think that you're going to be able to, wrap up your degree and have experience and meet people and have connections that's going to help you take that next step. So the next slide here is going to kind of show you, we have 5 main academic colleges on campus, as well as our honors college. So we have our College of Arts and Sciences, our College of Health and Human Services, our College of Business, our College of Education, our College of Engineering and Technology, and then, as I mentioned, the Honors College. All of our academic programming falls within one of these different areas of study. On the next page is going to show you roughly a rough idea of all of the different programs that we offer. This is obviously not a full list, but it is pretty comprehensive of a lot of the ones that are very popular, ones that you're gonna hear about probably more. So in the bottom right-hand corner, you can see there is a link to our website with a full list of all of our programs, including our our certification programs, our minors, and everything in between. I want to start on the left side of this page here, which is our College of Arts and Sciences program, our college. We have roughly 120 of our 200 programs are located within this department. At large, it has the most population of all of our programs, and this is where you're going to find everything that you've been studying for a really long time. So when you think about your math, sciences, social studies, languages, all of our arts programming, our dance, our theater, and our music programs are here as well. We did just recently remodel and reopen our science complex last year. So it's absolutely beautiful. New labs, new technology, really, really cool facility for students to study in. We are a Research 2-based institution, which is pretty awesome. You can come in and do research as a freshman if you want. The next one here is our College of Business. The big news on campus for us with that department is that it has been recently relocated back to main campus. So if you have ever heard that it was in downtown Ypsilanti, it was, but we have relocated it back to main campus. So all of our business students will be in the middle of everything that goes on regularly on campus. This is where you're going to find our accounting programs, our finance, our general business, marketing, and we have been rated by the Princeton Review for the last 16 years as one of the best in the country when it comes to business. So we are super proud of our business students, and these programs all do require some type of internship or in the field experience before you graduate. So you'll know that you will have opportunities to get some good background experience before you graduate to move on. Our College of Health and Human Services is next. That one is where you're going to find obviously our exercise science, our nursing program, our occupational therapy, sport management, and all of the health programming that's related to that. On campus, we did just open our brand new IHA Health Center, which is where, you know, if students need health services, the community, our staff members, you can go ahead and go get your flu shot, or, you know, if you're not feeling well, go see a doctor. All of those services are available there. It did just open this last winter. So with that, that will also offer an opportunity for our health and human services major students, anybody that might need some clinical experience, they'll be able to hopefully get that on campus. We do also have relationships with St. Joe's across the street from us, which is a hospital, as well as the University of Michigan. So our students that do need that clinical experience do have the opportunity for it. The next one is our College of Engineering and Technology, which actually we are in the process of opening a $40 million facility, brand new for the COT, which is really awesome. And I cannot wait. I have not been able to go through and see it yet, but I'm really excited about it. We have our engineering programs are all located there, our aviation flight technology, our simulation animation gaming programs. Those are all the, you know, the programs that I would say are really, you know, really well known in that department. So super exciting time for our COT students. Last but not least is our College of Education. We were founded in 1849 as a Michigan State Normal College. So for a really long time, we only taught teachers because a normal college only works with educators. But obviously, as you can see here now, we have over 200 programs, lots of different options for students. But while we started on education, we still do it really, really well. We offer every major that you could be interested in getting as an educator, every concentration at our school. So everything from early childhood education to secondary ed, and everything in between. Roughly 1 in 4 teachers actually in the state of Michigan graduated from Eastern. So we are really excited and happy to constantly say that we can continue to provide an exceptional educational experience and prepare our teachers to be awesome in the classroom. Finally, in the lower left-hand corner is our lower right-hand corner is our pre-professional program. So if you are interested in becoming a doctor or a lawyer or a veterinarian, we do have paths for that. You would do your initial 4-year degree with us, depending on what it was that you were going into, whether it was economics for law or biology for pre-med, and you would get your classes done that you need, that those postgraduate programs are going to be looking for you to have to apply. And then we would go ahead and help you take those next steps and apply to your program of choice. As I mentioned before, a full list is online, which includes all of our majors. Most all of our programs are about 124 credits to graduate. They do not all require a minor, but you are welcome to pursue one if you would like. Our next slide here is our campus life slide, and I'm going to go ahead and let Jaden introduce himself and let you know a little bit about him. He's going to tell you all about the things there are to do on campus.
All right. Hello, everyone. As Tracy said, my name is Jaden. I am a sophomore studying biochemistry on the pre-physician track at Eastern Michigan. I am also an Illinois resident. I'm actually from Aurora, Illinois, if you know where that is. Woo woo. On campus, I'm part of Greek Life and the Honors College, and obviously I work as a tour guide. But just getting into business, on this slide for life on campus, we'll start with our student support services. These are really great services that Eastern kind of offers its students. Home and Success Center is going to be located in our campus library. Basically, there you can find your success coaches. Those are going to be students and staff that kind of help, you know, students who are first generation incoming freshmen that, you know, kind of need that extra help, whether it's figuring out their class schedules, workload, you know, anything that falls in there. Diversity and community involvement, or the DCI. That's where you're going to find most of our resource centers in our student center. And basically we have a women's resource center, we have the LGBTQ center, just to name a few. So it just really gives that diverse aspect that Tracy was talking about earlier, just kind of highlighting that. The last thing I want to talk about with student support, which is one of the most important in my opinion, the University Advising and Career Development Center, or the UACDC. They're going to kind of help you whether you're, trying to figure out what kind of major you're going to go into. If you come into Eastern as undecided or exploratory, they're going to take those personality tests with you, see what kind of, subjects you like taking, whether like gen eds that you already took or you're about to take, just kind of formulating what kind of major or minor or concentration best suits for you. And on the career development aspect, there are going to be advisors that are going to help you with resume building, interview workshops, finding the correct business attire for when you go to those interviews. So they have a bunch of different aspects for your future plan also while you're at Eastern. And that resource is going to be there even after you graduate. So, I'm on the medical track right now, but if, a few years down the road, I change my mind and I want to become like an architecture or interior design, I can always come back to the UACDC and have an advisor help me with that, figuring out what kind of career track it would be. Moving on, for getting involved on campus, there's so much going on. You know, always something busy or something to keep you busy. We have our volunteer service opportunities. That's going to be our vision, which is also located in our student center. They're going to pair students up with any resources for volunteering efforts around the university, or even branching out into areas like Ann Arbor, which is a 20-minute drive, or even in Detroit areas, which is really nice. Our music and theater and dance performances are one of my favorite things to go and see, especially on a weekend. I always like to say that you don't have to be a theater major, minor, or anything like that to participate in the theater program. To be honest, I think half of them aren't even like theater majors themselves. So don't let that stop you if you're really interested in theater but don't want a major or minor in that. That's always an option. And for the music and dance performances aspect, if you are interested in playing your instrument, in marching band or orchestra or even choir, there are going to be opportunities for you to do that as well. Moving on into Greek life, as I said before, I am part of Greek life. I'm really happy that I was able to do something like that on the collegiate level. There are going to be 4 different councils. There's going to be the CPC. That's basically where you're going to find your college Panhellenic Council for sororities. Then we have our IFC, which is the Interfraternal Council. And then we have our 2 councils for diversity. Whether it's the Divine Nine for our historically Black chapters, or our council for the historically Hispanic chapters on campus. So it's a lot of diversity that you're going to see within like other organizations that I really liked about Eastern. Then we have our Eagle excursions. Those are going to be mainly held in our student center. If you're ever interested in like seeing Hamilton or going to see a Red Wings hockey game in Detroit or what have you, these Eagle excursions are going to kind of be like the big kid field trips, how I like to say it. You can just pay to take a trip with friends on a weekend to visit Chicago. I know that was a big one that they did like a year or 2 ago. A lot of people really like that. So if you're interested, I highly recommend Eagle excursions are going to be the best. Then we have our club and intramural sports. This is if you're really interested in doing any sports, but not on the D1 level, where it's not as competitive. The club and intramural sports are going to be open through our Rec IM. And the Rec IM is really nice because they just had a really big renovations that they did. So highly recommend seeing it. But our club and intramural sports, if it has tennis, volleyball, soccer, basketball, what have you. And if they don't have something that you want, you can always start it up with some friends and a faculty advisor. So highly recommend that. Next, we have our Eagle Pride. I did talk about a little bit sports-wise. We do offer D1 athletics. We have 18 varsity sports, my bad. And if you wanted to attend any of the home games, they are going to be free for Eastern students. All you have to do is flash your Eagle ID card, and you get in for free. I wasn't a big sporting guy myself when I was in high school, but the college level is going to be a whole nother ball game. It's really fun and exciting. And if you're not into sports, there's always something for you to do, whether it's seeing your friends in marching band or just being in the experience of all the school spirit. And then we also have the newly updated recreational facilities. Like we said, that Rec I Am just got a new renovation. I believe it was finished up earlier this month. We do have a rock wall in there, which is one of the best things that I found there. So highly recommend seeing it. And last but not least, beyond the classroom, we do have a bunch of study abroad programs. The ones that I kind of want to highlight is the Harry Potter trip in England. If you're really interested in that, you do have some gen ed credits that are covered through our study abroad, which is really nice. And those range from short term, which is 1 to 4 weeks, or long term for a full semester to a year. All right, Tracy, I think next slide. There we go. Next, we have housing and dining. So one of the things I recommend, especially, for Illinois residents, living on campus is one of the best parts about being in college. At Eastern, we do have 10 residence halls, all with a variety of styles to choose from, whether it's suite style or communal bathroom style, or even a living space style. We with these residence halls, we do also have 4 apartments. Those are going to be really for our junior and senior standing students. So, if you didn't want to venture out off campus, but stay on campus, when it comes to junior and senior year, you do have those options. They do kind of mock what an apartment would feel like. So you don't have to be like, oh, well, it's just another residence hall or something like that. And then we do have 18 on-campus dining options. Basically, they're amazing, to say the least. We do have a fully functioning Starbucks in our student center, and also in our Eastern eateries. Both the Eastern eateries and the student center are going to be kind of a market style setup. So there are going to be different restaurant hubs within each of these, ranging from burgers to salads, wraps, even like build your own pizzas and tacos. So you have a wide variety of different options there. We also do have markets for snacking on the go, in case you wanted to do something like that in between classes. If you have that 10-15 minute break in between and you just want to snack but not have like a full lunch, you do have that option in each of our academic buildings, which I really like. Moving on to our communities and housing, these are going to kind of be your live-in communities. So arts appreciation floor, that's where you find all your dance majors, your art majors, or if you just like art in general, that's just going to be something that I really appreciated. Then we have Brotherhood and Sisterhood Scholars. Those are going to be mainly for our demographic of African American students to kind of find a community with themselves on the floor. I had one of my coworkers in the tour guide office. She was part of Sisterhood, and it really was an amazing experience for her because she just found her lifelong friends through that. And then moving down, we do have our honors living learning environment. That's going to be in Downing Hall. So if you're interested in the honors college, I highly recommend applying because it doesn't hurt you at all. And the honors college gives you a little residence hall that all honors students can live in. And then we also have our transfer student area, which is going to be in the village, which is really nice to kind of keep everyone together.
All right, thank you so much, Jaden. We are going to, we're going to open it up at the end for question and answers. And so if you have specific questions about, moving out of state and coming to Eastern, Jaden will be really great at answering those questions here in a few minutes. We're going to move on to some of the stuff that's not quite as much fun to talk about, like costs, but scholarships is also great too. We have a lot of different options for students. And especially our first year students coming in, we have 4 different scholarships specifically for first year students. I don't know if you've noticed yet, but in the bottom right-hand corner, you can see our cost of attendance, room and board, and tuition and fees. And the big one here is that all students pay in-state tuition. We have no out-of-state fees. So coming from Illinois, you're going to pay the same tuition, same room and board that everybody else does from the state of Michigan. So whether you're from Illinois or anywhere else, that's what everybody pays the same rate. So we are a credit-based institution. The number here, that 11,375, is based on 13 credit hours. When you think about the fact that 12 credit hours is full time, most students are taking somewhere between 13 and 15 credit hours a semester. Then, so that number could increase a little bit depending on how many credits you're taking. The room and board is standard at 10,486. That's going to include a 19 a week meal plan, 19 meals a week. And then also your residence halls fees. And then the total there would be around roughly 21,861. Again, could be a little bit more based on your credit and how much you're taking. And how do we pay for all of this? We give scholarships. Our first one that I'm going to talk about is our Emerald Scholarship. And actually, you'll notice the first three here do not require a test score. We have gone test optional this year, and I'll talk about that here in a minute. But these first three on this page do not require a test score. And the first one is the Emerald Scholarship, and that's strictly based on your GPA. So when you apply, we automatically look at that GPA and we consider you for that Emerald Scholarship. That's going to be somewhere between $1,000 and $7,500 annually. So you'll get that for all 4 years as long as you maintain a 2.75 or higher GPA. So that's pretty awesome. You don't have to do anything else. You don't have to sign other paperwork. You just get it. The next one is our Forward Graduation Scholarship. If you have a 3.0 GPA, you can, it's kind of our buy two, get two free. You can opt into this scholarship. This would be a locked in rate for years 1 and 2. You would pay for that. And then we would pay for years 3 and 4 on campus. You would have to live on campus all 4 years, but you would get 2 years paid for. So that's a pretty awesome deal as well for students that are out of state that are looking for a good scholarship. The third one is our Education First Opportunity Scholarship. This one is a full tuition scholarship minus a Pell Grant you receive. So Tracy, what's a Pell Grant? A Pell Grant is something you find out you might be eligible for when you fill out your FAFSA, so your free application for federal student aid. That opened on October 1st. If you have not yet filled it out, you will want to do that because this scholarship is based on that. If you find out you're eligible for a Pell Grant and you have a 3.0 GPA or better, this is a full tuition scholarship. Okay, the deadline for this year is December 1st. So we are about a little over halfway through October. You want to make sure that you apply and that you fill out your FAFSA to find out if this is an option for you. But it is pretty awesome. Tuition would be taken care of. Finally is our Presidential Scholarship Competition, which is for students that have a 3.5 cumulative GPA or higher. And this one does require a test score still. So either a 25 on the ACT or a 1200 on the SAT. You can start the application process even if you haven't taken the SAT yet. If you plan to take it and maybe your PSAT score was really high, you anticipate scoring well on the SAT or the ACT, you can start that application process now. It is an additional application process. So at that website right there that's listed at the bottom, the deadline is December 18th, and then we need your materials by January 4th. So you have literally until January 4th to get in a test score to us, you know, to go with that GPA. Then on January 4th, you will get emailed an essay topic. You will write your essay, you will send it back to us. From there, we will narrow it down to usually around 75 applicants for an on-campus interview. I don't know that they'll be on campus this year with everything going on, but there will still be, as far as I know, an interview component. And then after that, we narrow it down to usually somewhere between 15 and 20. The number has not been defined yet this year, but 15 to 20 full tuition and full room and board scholarships. So if this is something that you are interested in, I highly recommend applying. If you get it, you're automatically into the honors college, honors residence halls. You can apply for the whole thing. So it's a pretty awesome opportunity. And I would like to mention one more time, there is no out-of-state tuition, which is great. Before we go to the next slide, I'm going to talk about our admissions policy real quick. We do have a free application that I'll give you a link for on the next page. If you have a 2.5 or higher, you will fall under our test optional policy this year. So you can apply without a test score with a 2.5 or higher. And then we will go ahead and review your materials. We review your we need an official transcript. So it must come through parchment or it must come from your high school directly for it to be considered official. Then we're on a turnaround time right now of about a week or so. So you should find out relatively quickly if we would need any additional materials. If you have below a 2.5, we're going to want you to take that test, either an ACT or an SAT, and submit that test score to us. And then from there, we'll go ahead and review all of your materials. We do have rolling admissions, so we accept students all year long. So you don't have to worry about early admissions, early application deadlines, or anything like that. We will, we will continue to review materials for students all the way through August of next year. So definitely, if you're on the verge of taking the SAT or not taking it, you're not sure, just take it to be safe, especially if you're around that 2.5 GPA. You'll want to use that for your part of your application materials. Otherwise, we don't need any essays, we don't need letters of recommendation, just that official transcript and your application. So what's next here? We want you to, depending, I don't know if I have juniors, seniors sitting in on this today, but fill out our kit card. If you use your phone, you can scan over the QR code. It'll take you right to it, actually. And if you're a senior, you're going to click on senior, and it'll take you to our free application. It's kind of like a Google Doc, so Google Forms. So it'll take you literally 10 minutes to fill out. Pretty quick and painless, and then go ahead and follow up with that transcript. If you're a junior, you'll want to fill it out because you'll be able to start getting more information about Eastern and what we have to offer and what even next year might look like, and so on and so forth. Text into us with questions. Again, that number, you can reach us. You can also reach me by email that I had shown a little bit earlier in the presentation. If you didn't write it down, you can text it and ask for my information. I'll send it back to you, no problem. And then if you're interested in visiting campus, which if you feel comfortable, if you're able, whether you come to Eastern or you go somewhere else, try to visit the campus. I cannot stress enough, you want to go see where you're looking to spend, 4 to 5 years of your life. And sometimes that's really all you need for it to really make you feel like home. And so we have actually in-person options right now. They're kind of on a limited basis. So if you're interested in doing that, you'll want to get on our website. You'll want to sign up for a day and start planning for that. But we also have some virtual tour options as well, which are just as great. You can, if you don't feel comfortable coming out to Michigan right now, I completely understand. But we have a great virtual visit option out there for students that want to get a taste of what Eastern looks like and what it's all about from the comfort of their home, which is completely understandable in all of this right now. If you're sitting on this and you've already been admitted and you just wanted some more information, you're going to check out our admitted student checklist, which is at emich.edu/admit. That will give you all of your next step information. It will tell you, what to be looking for, what emails to look for, and what you need to get into us to really finally make a decision and choose Eastern as your university. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead. Actually, I'm going to click back to that. And I'm going to open it up for questions and answers. If you have them, you can go ahead and put them in our Q&A box. And we promise you no questions are dumb ones. We get all sorts of questions all the time. And, it's a safe space, promise. You can go ahead and ask whatever might come to mind. So we're going to kind of keep an eye on that. And then we'll also kind of answer some questions that we usually get. Okay, so one of the questions that I usually get is, can you have a car on campus as a first-year student? That's a big one. And I tell students, yes, you are allowed to have a car on campus. You are allowed to bring your vehicle. You just have to register it with Park EMU, the license plate, so that you can park it on campus in the designated areas. But you do not, and I'll ask Jaden, do you think you needed a car to be successful on campus at Eastern?
No, I usually just piggyback on others that had cars, or the bus system is really nice because there are, I think, 2 or 3 bus stops all around Eastern Michigan's campus. And it's only $1.25 just to take it all the way to Ann Arbor. So it's really nice.
Nice. Let's see. what kind of clubs are available on campus to be involved in? Aiden, you want to take that one?
Yeah. So we have over, I think, 200 to 250 clubs on campus, all ranging from academics, like our pre-med club, our business, our DECA, which is our, I think, just like our fancy business competition. And then we have some fun ones like our squirrel watching club, our squirrel feeding club, our Oreo eating club. So there's a wide variety of clubs that you can join and be part of, and if there's something that we don't have that you're really interested in, all you have to do is get a couple of your friends and a faculty advisor just to start your own club. And it's really nice that they allow that.
Nice. Students want to know, can I bring my pets to campus?
Yeah.
That's a loaded question. What kind of pets? We typically tell students, what is it? It's no, you can have fish, no flesh eating fish, right, Jaden?
Yep.
If you have an emotional support animal, you would need to get them registered with the Disability Resource Center, and they will work with you. I believe cats, though, are the only ones that are allowed in the residence halls, right?
Cats and some dogs are now allowed.
Okay. So yeah, so leave the flesh eating fish at home, no piranhas. If you have a emotional support animal, that's acceptable. One of the other questions, I'll give you a question that I normally get a lot is, what's the Ypsilanti area kind of like, right? So I said earlier, we're located close to University of Michigan, Ann Arbor area, and we're about 45 minutes from Detroit. So we're definitely a city, we're situated within the surroundings of a city, but a lot of stuff is within walking distance, even outside of campus. So like our downtown Depot Town area, which is where a lot of really great restaurants are. They have some little shops and like a yoga studio. And then there's also our downtown Ypsilanti area, which also has more great restaurants and some kind of cool little places to be. But then you're about 10 minutes away from all of the major, your chain restaurants, right? So your shopping malls, your other places that you might want to go outside of campus. And then being about 45 minutes from Detroit, obviously really big city, and all of our sports teams are there and our concert halls and venues and stuff like that. So we are kind of in our little, I wouldn't say like a bubble, but we are like, you can do things on campus within walking distance by us, but you can also have the opportunity to take an Uber or, bike somewhere and be able to be, just a few minutes away from kind of a busier area. And, being that close to the University of Michigan, as well as some of our other local universities, there are so many college age students in the area at any one time. It really provides a great environment for you to meet people, not even just from our campus, but from other campuses that are close. So that's when I kind of get. Jaden, I don't know if you want to kind of talk about your experience maybe as we wrap up here as an out-of-state Illinois student and what you enjoy most about being in Michigan.
Oh yeah. So, my college search, I was really looking for out of state, schools, and I happened to find Eastern Michigan. And I was so lucky to find it. So, the biggest thing for me was, not only being in a new school, but being in a new state, and not knowing that many people, but, Eastern Michigan has a really close knit community. And, everyone there is like family to me right now. So, it was a hard adjustment at first, but after that second week, it was just like everyone is so friendly and everything. So, I highly recommend, if you want that adventure or just to branch out of state, definitely take it because it's life-changing.
And I can also comment on that too. I went out of state for school, and I actually went a little bit north of Illinois. I went to school in Wisconsin, but it's just such an easy drive back and forth from Chicago. I mean, you can go just as many hours, away and still be in the state of Illinois. So I think to Jaden's comment here, if you're looking for something that's out of state, you're looking for scholarships, you're looking for a good fit, I think Southeastern Michigan can really be that open door for you, and be able to provide that, that home away from home. And like he mentioned earlier, we have some great resources to help our students navigate the college experience and really make it beneficial for the out-of-state student to come and feel welcome and also be able to afford it, because not having to pay out-of-state tuition is also huge for a lot of students. So so we hope that we get to see you on campus sometime soon. Like I said, come visit, reach out. Jaden, real quick, do you want to talk about you guys have tour guide, you guys have your tour guide chats and stuff that you guys do that students can hang out in?
Yes, so Mondays and Wednesdays from 2 to about 4. This is all Central Time, so don't worry about Eastern Time. This is 2 to 4. We are going to be hosting our tour guide live chats and our virtual tours in case like Tracy said, you don't feel comfortable or you prefer to keep it all virtual. It's going to be Mondays and Wednesdays from 2 to 4 p.m. and that's going to be emish.edu/visit. We also have our Friday morning sessions, which are going to be from 10 a.m. to about 12 p.m. So yeah.
Awesome. And I think with that, we are all set for the evening. We appreciate you joining us. And we're thankful to have our host here that's also hailing from Michigan as well.
Eastern Michigan University and my home state doing so well. It is so easy to get back and forth. I completely agree. I've lived in Chicago since I left Michigan and go back often. So nice job, Tracy and Jaden. Thank you so much for sharing this information. I just wanted to let everybody know that when we close the window, there will be a link to a very quick 4-question survey. We appreciate any feedback that you're able to provide, and we just really appreciate you joining us tonight. Also, this was just one of the many sessions being hosted, so please check out other sessions on IACAC.org. In about a week, you can find this session's recording as well as all the other sessions, again, at IACAC.org. Thanks so much, and we hope you have a great night.
Thank you. Good night.
Good night.